Hello, welcome everybody. Got everything set up beforehand now. I had an emergency situation because thing. Some damage to fences around my house, and it's bordering a neighbor. So I was trying to get in contact with them to figure out. It's like, hey, we need to replace this post, and I want to make sure you're good. And they didn't respond. Okay. Right, it's in the wrong place. All right. 2 seconds. Okay. There we go. Rack, it's Saturday. I got to prep for TTRPG night tomorrow. Yeah? Actually, I'm going to turn on some music real quick, and I'll be right back. Before I get started, need to grab some water. An emergency situation. Oh, God, what now? Now what? Yeah, I mean, it's an emergency situation because the post broke, and it's hanging on by a thread, and if it falls over, it could take down the rest of the fence. That's... If I fix it by replacing the post, I don't have to replace all of the other posts, kind of thing. All right. Oh, I'm back. The storm last night? Yeah. It's been like that for a couple days, apparently. We've had a lot of wind, and my fence is over a decade old. And, see if the camera's fixed here. Nope, it reset. Hey, you can see through me. Oh, it reset again? Okay. I don't look jaundice, right? All right. Last thing I'm gonna do to set up. It's very windy, yeah. Oh yeah. For a moment, like, wait, what am I doing? Heyo, here to catch up with Star Citizen news. Okay, bye well. How long has it been? We're playing the game Camera Filter or Medical Issue. Yeah, I don't have jaundice. And surprisingly, I don't feel really that bad at all from... I'm gonna go buy some things, like 1.5 million. This thing. All right, how much is a hole? A hole A. Would you recommend skipping 4.0 and waiting until 4.1? Have you not played 4. Have you not played 4.1 or 4.0 yet? Four point oh point two is fine. I mean, that's what I'm playing right now. There are still issues, but like elevators are mostly working. They haven't killed me yet. The biggest issue with 4.0 is that ground-based cargo elevators sometimes don't work, and ship elevators sometimes don't work. The performance is a lot better than it used to be. Like, the biggest problem now is boiling down to like gameplay stuff.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the... Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I'm gonna go to L1 real quick. So I look kind of yellowish. That better? Look more red now. That's actually more closer to what I actually look like right now, so. But yeah, well, like, how long has it been since there's a lot of news. Like, I couldn't tell you exactly what's going on other than, because I don't know how much you know of what's going on.
Engines active. Quantum fuel 100%. Launch complete. Landing gear raised.
They're about 2 months away. Okay. Whew, Lord. All right. There's a lot. So there's a new mission, mission chain is being added in 4.1 where you align. It's an event. You align certain towers together to line up with a mining laser, and then that mining laser is fired, and it does both summon a Valakar worm and also gives you access to rare materials which you can only find in this mission. And those materials you can then gather and then turn into the new mission giver named Wicklow, who's a Banu. Yes, there is Banu in the game in 4.1. And they will give you favors, and you can turn these favors in to earn certain perks, including weapons, specialized armor, and small, medium, or massive ships. Basically a gacha game that you can put inside of it. Plus, Wicklow also has their own series of missions you can do, and those missions will help you unlock a fucking Polaris. There's also new locations there's new locations for Hathor in Stanton and in Pyro, I believe.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit.
Is the reputation system for factions in the game accurate now? No, not at all. It's still a long time ago.
Ever.
So current item resource is probably this event? Yes. I don't think this event is going to be exclusive though. I don't think this is one of those like story missions where you can only do this once. It's just an event that's like Ghost Hollow.
Gifted Forge, a membership. Forge Horizons celebrates 20 months of membership.
Hey.
Hello, Mr. Paul. What are the odds that 4.1 will be moderately stable enough to bring somebody who has only played one time, when 4.0 just launched, back in? The new content in 4.1 seems to intrigue him.
What are the odds that 4.1 will be moderately stable enough to bring somebody who's only played one time and 4.0 just launched back in? Probably okay. I wouldn't, I'd wait until it's launched and then figure it out, because like, it's gonna undergo a large amount of testing. Thank you for that, that 20 months, by the way. We're still got at least 2 weeks of testing. Oh, and the item recovery is in the game. It's actually kind of controversial because CIG announced the item recovery. So like, if you have purchased gear, you get it back. It's not the way anybody thought it was going to be. So instead of it just being purchased gear, you get every gear, everything you have equipped on your person comes back to you. You do not lose gear anymore if it's equipped, and no one can loot you, loot equipped gear from your body. They can loot inventory space, so if you put stuff in your backpack, they can take it out. But anything you have equipped on your body, you can't be looted, and you get all that back, including ammo, weapons, everything. It's the state that you were in when you died. Also, he's not mispronouncing Wicklow's name, by the way. Word of God is that his name is pronounced like Piccolo from Dragon Ball. Yeah, Piccolo.
Shield system active.
I think right now they get refilled, but I don't think they're supposed to.
Landing gear deployed. Landing gear raised.
But this is tier 0 of item recovery. So item recovery, tier 1 is going to be where you have to purchase back your gear. So you can set like effectively an armor set. And once you've set that armor set, when you die, you can get it back, but you have to pay for it. So you can earn armor, and other people can, and you can die, but you can get that armor back, but you have to go to your hangar and like kind of pull it back, and you have to register it in order for it to be like that. This is going to go along the lines of item insurance. So when you have insurance, you'll be able to, when they add insurance to the game, you'll be able to insure armor sets so you get them back, but you have to pay a certain amount of monthly fee in order to keep doing that. Topic today, item recovery. Figure it was topical, time to talk about it. Yeah. Well, both Darissa and the real KG were like, I want that. I was like, all right, cool. People want the smoke, let's go. Yes, it will be related to the death of a spaceman over time. But it's right now, it's basically, people were complaining that they couldn't get their subscriber gear. Once they lost their subscriber gear, it was impossible to get it back. So, this is sort of like the solution so that if CIG is selling armor and weapons, you don't lose those armor and weapons even though you're selling them. Or will you have to pay a different fee? They've also talked about the idea that they're going to give people with subscriber items blueprints, schematics, so that you can make those on your own. Game performance is super better, y'all. Like if you were in a situation where like you could barely play the game, it is leaps and bounds better than it used to be. Okay. Weapons. Buy that. Buy 2.
$907 just resubscribed for 3 months for the law.
Thank you so much, Escape, for that 3 months at tier 3. You're a very important part, very impressive, Mr. Very important pedestrian. This is your fault. You're drinking night. Trust and cheers and chat. Y'all trust and cheers. I look forward to at least wearing something other than my sperm suits. Yeah. Yeah. Paying to get your gear back is effectively just armor repair in most MMOs. Oh, you also have armor repair on top of that. Like, don't get it twisted. You're also going to have to repair your armor. It's if you get it damaged, because like. Oh, also they're taking away backspace. That's part of this. You're no longer going to be able to backspace out. T1 or T2, yeah. Like the it's soon.
Dem biddies.
Cloud visit Horizon, the city in the cloud.
Leave them biddies there, Shogi. Yeah, so what you just, if you're starting to go, well, this sounds like a lot of issues. Yeah, this is the reason why it's super controversial. A lot of people are not too sure about this. A lot of people like the idea, myself included, like that, you know, where they're going, generally speaking. I think it works and makes sense. But also a lot of people are hesitant to jump into this idea simply because there's a lot of factors that CIG doesn't seem to be like this dealing with properly, or they don't seem to have a grasp on yet. And in CIG's defense, backspace isn't a solution as much as logging out and logging back in is now. Most solutions to problems, instead of being backspace, is simply log out and log back in, which is better than it used to be. Go. A lot better there. Change the helmet out. I'm on live. Looking bad? Not badass. Not bad. Not badass. I'm looking awful. Ugly. Terrible. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I wanted to get actual equipment, and then I'll head back to do one more. I need to do one more run of the regular runs, and then I'll go buy a hull A, and then I can start doing better hauls.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieve. Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to please visit us.
Never seen a hull A in action before? I might just go rent one. You're about to see the most mind-numbing thing of all time, but yeah. Want them to focus and then a way for us to sell AUEC. We don't want, so I can sell you this whole A and that I have in game. Oh, sell stuff for AUEC? Yeah. CIG's talked about player transactions, and I think the easiest way to do that is to make a system where players can hand over ownership of one thing to another. Not necessarily like contracts or anything like that with money, but like, hey, this person has, you can sign ownership of X, Y, or Z over to this other person. And I also think that should come with fees. Nice looking ship you got there. Yeah. 350 that I purchased with money that I earned in game. Problem is that smuggling is ass right now in terms of actual money, in terms of the time versus money implementation. But I'm glad I have it, because I have a feeling when scanning and stuff like that comes in, this is going to be a very good ship to have for some more illicit work. Did you just say sales tax? Yeah, not necessarily sales tax, but just tax. Some sort of fees and other things for transferring ownership, like transferring a title and stuff like that. The 315P is a great ship in terms of its range. I mean, it's got 1.79 million quantum fuel. Very few ships of its size have that volume of quantum fuel. It's small. Like, let me check the actual, shit! Hit the wrong button. That's the first time I've done that by accident.
Hey, a tip.
Saka, superchatted $1.99. Got my wife into Futurama. Let's celebrate.
I'm glad to hear that. Do I think housing is coming this year? I think base building is, but maybe not housing. Yeah. Yeah, 315's been amazing in Pyro. You can land it anywhere. It's fast, and the fuel tank can pretty much go anywhere. It's also super quiet. You can get it to be almost invisible if you know how to do it right.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim has been sent. Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you. Please visit us.
The only thing that really beats it are actual stealth ships. Yeah. And actual stealth ships don't have 12 SCU of cargo. Met base building, yeah. Like the 315P is almost purpose built to be a smuggler. Nor the tractor beam or the range. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure CIG will eventually realize when they actually build out the stuff they're building that they need some sort of starter smuggler sort of situation. And the 315P will be beat by then. But like, I still don't think, I think CIG sort of accidentally created perfection when they created the 315P, and I don't think they'll, even intentionally, I don't think they'll be able to beat it. No, I think it's coming this year. Do I think it's coming to live? No. No, not at all. Do I think it's going to be...
CX Self just resubscribed for 6 months, finally able to catch another stream.
Thank you so
Got
much for
the
that.
Discord app to get the notifications properly. Anyway, hope life is good. What's the news on Star Citizen with the new update?
My name is Paul, Berserker and Batman Shelley. Your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? Yeah, a bunch of people coming back, which is nice. I guess I'll have to do a quick recap
The ASOP vehicle select.
for those of you who don't know.
Your vehicle has been limited. Please visit us again.
Drinks all around.
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Becky on Blast just got a sub from Northern Tech Hermit. Northern Tech Hermit gifted a tier 2 sub to Becky on Blast.
Thank you for giving that
They
sub.
have given 23 gift subs in the channel.
Giving that sub to Becky and Blast. Oh, sorry, Club is going. How you doing, the Mad World of Chaos?
Dog Platypus just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you so much for doing that. You're very important puppers, very impressive business, very neat pedestrians. Y'all rock. Shots and cheers in chat. Y'all shots and cheers. How you doing? All right, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you for bringing your community over here. Welcome, everybody. Hope you all had a good one.
Them biddies.
Make Lawman dance.
Make Lorman dance. Dance, Lorman. Lorman dance. Lord dance. Dance, Paul. Dance. Yeah, welcome to the madness. For those of you who are who've been away for a while, I guess, and are coming back, 4.1 is an open PTU, so anyone can test it if you have the game. It's an interesting situation because I'm playing 4.0.2, so this is the live client right now with my Zero to Hero account. So this is an account that started with just a Aurora, and I actually purchased this with in-game cash already.
Them biddies.
How do we requisition a recording of Patty Matson saying, "For the law"?
What? I don't know who that is. I mean, I've heard that saying before, but I think Carmel Denson, Paul.
Launch complete. Landing gear raised. Shield system inactive.
Actually, before I go,
Shield system active.
so you can see this. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, let me start turning things off.
Weapons deactive. Engines inactive.
Shogi_HR just gifted 5 subs.
Shuggy, thank you for getting those 5 subs. You're very important, bumpers, very impressive, business, very new pedestrians. Y'all rock. Shots and cheers in chat. Y'all shots and cheers. Yeah, but it's like super low. So like everything's turned off except for my shields. Cross section is at 0, 8.2. But I've got to read these numbers correctly. The top number here is that top number is like right here is my what people can register at me at current range. The bottom is masking. So the bottom one is what you can actually see right now. I'm not turning off the coolers, because if I turn off the coolers, everything will get really hot. Watch. Huh. Going down? The bottom is going up now.
Shield system inactive.
So with everything turned off, except for the main power plant, I have, is that kilometers or is that meters? So my EM is 0. And my IR is like 10K. Oh, so like you can't even fucking see me right now in infrared because the ambient infrared emissions are so high. Turn back on. I'm invisible right now. I'm invisible except for EM because I have my radar on. Turn my radar off. Oh no, even with the radar on, I'm invisible. Oh no, you can hear me. You can see me now. But I'm invisible to infrared. Oh. Now I turn my engines on.
Engines active.
Why do you need that tractor beam on?
Shield system inactive. Quantum drive activated.
Which one's the ambient noise? The bottom one, I believe. So.
Quantum drive deactivated.
So like right now, ambient is 2 points. It's rising in temperature, but EM's 0.
Shield system active.
So the ambient interference is 0, so I can easily be seen on EM spectrum, but my detecting radius is 6 kilometers away, where my infrared is 13 kilometers. If I turned other stuff off, or if I got stealth components and replaced some of these things with stealth components, that signature is going to drop significantly. So the point being, this thing, if you kit it out right, is basically a stealth ship.
Shield system inactive. Quantum drive activated. Quantum drive deactivated. Shield system active.
I just finished by swapping my Intrepid to all stealth components. It's excellent. So yeah, that's the thing, is that the Intrepid should be a stealth starter based off of everything we've seen. The problem is that CIG doesn't seem to want to make it a stealth starter. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but you know, hey, whatever. Even halfway decent modules from some ships are ghosts. The difference is, like, for instance, like the Eclipse, as you mentioned, doesn't have a cargo bay. So like the 315P is relatively inexpensive, both in real cash value and in game. It's only like 1.5 mil, I think. It's pretty cheap. You can with some decent some halfway decent stealth components, you can basically be invisible, and it has 12 SCU of cargo, and has a bed, and has a tractor beam.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle vehicle has been moved. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
The problem with the Avenger Titan is that it has a smaller cargo bay than the 315P. It has some better guns, but like... Also pretty zippy bunker runners. Or is there going to be different variants of the Intrepid? We don't know. I will constantly say the 315P is one of the things that one of the ships that most people sleep on, because they go the Avenger Titan. And it's like the Avenger Titan is good, but the one thing it lacks is cargo capacity. And most missions are between, like starter missions, are between like 6 and 12 SCU. So if you're going to run a Titan, you have to run, if you're doing cargo missions with a Titan, you have to do 2 separate runs with it. Whereas the 315P, you don't have to. Unfortunately, for common sense, the 300i and the 315P should have their cargo capacity swapped. Now, the 315P is a cargo specific. That's why it has the tractor beam and everything like that. All right, Miss Call A, 34,000 to rent. I'll show you the secret to making money if you're starting out. Rent a ship like the Hull A or the Cutlass Black. Go to hauling. You want to find the 50K missions around at Bajini Point specifically, because they're all go to the same location. All of them do. And they're all small numbers. Now, you're not going to get a huge amount of rep from them, but you can collect 6 different missions, all for 50K. So you can make 300,000 in a single run. So you'll see 10, 11, 9, 9, 9, 11. So at most, it's going to be around 60 SCU of cargo, but in one SCU, like chunks. Yeah. The problem is that you have to put them all in, like they're all one SCU. You don't get them in like larger SCU crates. So you have to load them on manually one at a time, which is a pain in the ass. But you can dump them all off at the same time and make an absolute killing.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
We're gonna have to be doing 0 to hero right now.
Please visit us.
Okay, that's what it says. Is that an NPC? No, it was a player. Just RP walking. Or elevator walking. Buy an ATLS. Well, you also have to then like produce the ATLS and all that kind of stuff. So
The ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has please visit us again.
Like you have to like raise it up, you have to pull it off to the side, you have to load it. You can't like load an ATLS in a whole A, unfortunately. Yeah, the keyboard's pretty loud. I used to not have this issue because the issue, because the microphone was pointed up to my face. Now it's pointed down, so it's collecting all the sound that you hear, everything. I think the raft was rentable. Damn it. There we go. Just trying to set it up in a way that makes sense. I've never flown this thing before, so. Come on. Boom. There we go.
Hello, how can Miss help you today? Systems on.
There we go. Well, they shouldn't have let me rent it. Doing experience cargo missions from Magnus to Terra and back in my whole sea at the moment. Amusing to watch someone else space trucking as well. Well, you can see the freaking massive amounts here.
Dem biddies.
I'm making a cameo request for Patty Matson right now.
Okay. Go for it. If you manage to get it, I'll do it. Who does Patty Madison play in WoW? Oh, is it Sylvanas Windrunner? Could I identify gaps in the ship market? I mean, yeah, the Infrunner is X specifically. Well, X worked with a lot of other people, but like we put together a large amounts of gaps, especially in things like the industry areas, because there should be different versions of miners and salvagers across the board, different sizes and different purposes. Like for instance, we don't have a ground miner. We don't have a dedicated vehicle that's designed to just mine on the ground. And with how they're doing ground mining, as we see with base building, I fully expect something like base building mining, but just with vehicles. those of you who don't know, how base building mining works is you're going to put down your miner and it will generally passively scoop up materials around the area based off of what's available in the area. So you're not actually like mining rocks, you're just digging a hole in the ground, or you're putting a drill, and the drill is drilling down to sort of like extract materials. Like Planet Crafter, or like the in situ resource refueling in Kerbal Space Program. You just have a drill that you use to sort of extract materials generally where they are. A passive miner, yeah. I think CIG will do something like that with ships, only the passive miner isn't going to be mining, isn't going to be a passive miner in the sense of, it won't be passive. It will be passively collecting them, but you're going to have to actively manage, like, the power output and, you know, other things like that. There'll be some sort of active component to it. With beams, right? Yeah, of course you'll use beams.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No BPUs.
But you can never,
Never.
ever take away my space game.
The real KG just resubscribed for 8 months.
Hey, KG, thanks so much for that 8 months of support. You're very important, Pepper, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your fault. This is your friend. Good night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. How you doing, buddy? Phew. KG's gonna be on a little bit later. Saw some data scraping stuff. Is it okay to mention here? Yeah, go for it. Just remember that it's... you should have a source for it. Because whenever you don't have a source for it, it's a Trust Me Bro leak, and Trust Me Bro leaks are the weakest of the leaks. Because, first of all, even if they're 100% right, CIG changes their mind like, I change underwear frequently. Who's on deck for today? KG and Darissa are going to be on. We're going to be talking a little bit about the item recovery. Like Barbie changes clothes, yeah. I don't doubt it. Like I think a lot of people are. Whenever I see people going, "Oh yeah, we're not going to get base building for another 5 years," and all these other things. I'm like, y'all don't realize how quickly CIG is iterating on stuff. Like we're done. CIG doesn't have anything else to add to the game that kind of locks them off. Right now, the focus is to just. The reason why the focus is on not features but on gameplay is mostly because they want to go back and fix the features that currently are in the game that are at tier 1 or don't work or need an overhaul so that they can match with everything they need to do. The basic stuff, flight, scanning, all of that sort of thing. Missions. Missions is the main focus right now. I think the things we'll see that need to get fixed before CIG moves on to bigger and better things are missions and like hangar modules stuff. Yeah, trams, that stuff. That's already being worked on though. We know that that's in the process of being done. They did the temporary fix, which works. And but we know that they've actively been working on the ATCs. The AT system is getting a full overhaul. I think the thing is that people are so used to all of the stuff being sort of taking a long time because they're used to CIG sort of splitting their attention between a bunch of different things and not having a super focus on one thing alone. Whenever I've seen CIG hyper focus on like one or two features, they usually are able to produce some pretty decent results fairly quickly. It's a lot of it is just, does CIG have the time and resources dedicated to doing it and then maintaining those things at the level that they produce them at? That's the problem, is they usually just let it decay, and then the problems that were at the core of the feature or mission set or whatever, they rear their ugly heads, and CIG just doesn't have the resources to continue to fix those problems. Yeah, features were being co-developed with Squadron. Yeah. So, like, a lot of the stuff we have in the game that have been coming to the game last year is all Squadron stuff. Yeah, they're going to adjust after 1.0 and such. There's stuff they're going to keep doing. CIG is going to make Star Citizen until they close their fucking doors. Like, CIG isn't going to reach 1.0 and be like, we're done, goodbye. So yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if we got fabrication of some kind of like in game, even if it's not at the same time as space building, because that also kind of would make sense. I theorized for a long time that we would get fabrication before base building, because what we'd get is sort of making ships or components and armor, components, weapons, and armor, because those are things that CIG can do pretty easily. And not to like make everyone mad, but CIG isn't going to have you hand build a fucking gun and put in the firing pin and all that shit. They're going to slap a fucking they're gonna you know, you open up a UI, you put a bunch of components in, then you hit build, and in the fabricator there's going to be smoke and lighting effects, and it's gonna sound like a fucking storm is raging inside of it, and then the door's gonna open, the smoke is gonna clear, and then your gun's gonna be there. It's just going to just magically appear on the fabrication floor. You're not gonna see it getting printed. You're not gonna see it like slowly come into existence. It's just going to spawn in through smoke and effects. Crafting a la Warframe, yeah. Progress bar building, yeah. What do you think will come first, base building or station building? Base building. I think we're gonna get small and medium bases first to test it out. And everyone's gonna get mad because there's absolutely no way, quote me on this one, I will be incredibly impressed. I will eat my words if this is true. But there is absolutely no way that CIG launches base building with large buildings and stations. And on top of that, almost certainly, when the base building is in and you go and you play with your base building, the next time they have a 0.1 patch, all of your base building is going to get removed. It's going to be erased. There'll be no persistence for base building for probably the majority of the time we're in 4.0. Not too bad. We're only missing 5. Oh, good. I just want to solo a little settlement, and you're going to have to build it every patch. You're going to have to rebuild it every patch. We might see large buildings, but I don't think we're going to see anything beyond just a hab and some crafting stuff. And I don't think we'll see the BLD as the first. I know they said it was going to be the first. I don't think that's going to be the case. It'll be the smaller crafting stuff they've already been doing. Right. Power on. This thing has a weird handling to it. Hey, Jock. It'll kick off at in about an hour and 20 minutes. This is the pre-show, so the pre-show is going to be here. But if you're watching the pre-show, it should dump you over into the captain's table when it goes live, because it's going to be now at the captain's table. The captain's table, just YouTube. It has its own dedicated YouTube now. So that's where it's live and all the recorded captain's tables are. So make sure you subscribe to that channel. It should be in the description below if you're on YouTube. Does cargo weight affect ships handling? Not yet, I don't think. That's the plan long term. It did at one point. I always like to talk about that one because a lot of people don't realize, like, CIG has already factored a lot of these things in. And they did so by accident. Like, no joke. CIG accidentally allowed cargo variation to be a thing in the game. Because they had always had the different performance at different weights, but they hadn't turned it on because they didn't know all of the details and they didn't want to, like, fuck with it right away. And then one patch, they set it so that every ship was acting as if it was fully loaded. And when that happened, like, reclaimers required basically a runway to get out of atmosphere. Like, you couldn't tip up beyond like a 20 to 25 degree angle, and you had to just slowly arc your way up out of the atmosphere to even get out, because you just weren't, you didn't have the power enough to go straight up. No, people hated it. It was so awful. Nobody wanted to fly ships in atmosphere. Because it was every ship was fully acting like it's fully loaded, even if it was empty. Definitely have never flown this before, because I nearly fucking crashed. No, I wasn't cruise control. I was on, wait, do I have cruise control on? I do have cruise control on. I was in quantum still, so I was going faster. So I've got newish sticks. I'm still getting used to them for all the different functionalities. So I was hitting buttons to remember what was the button that allows you to expand. Because I have a button that expands like the cargo area of a whole A, or but it also was like for my Corsair. Oh, so VKB gave me gunfighters. Because I participated in the Atmo Esports event at CitizenCon 2953. I got free VKB gunfighters and mounts. So I didn't actually didn't actually set them up until this like winter. I've only had them for a couple of months. No, they're good. They're good sticks. It's just more of a remembering the button layout because, like, I can fly with them pretty well. I just have to remember all of the different buttons and like memorize the like which buttons I hit. Get better at it. I have a question for you. How long do you think it'll be before we get all the actual relaxation stuff in the game? Or Orison should be what is basically a tourist trap. I think we have to wait until... That sounds like something that CIG would do as sort of a side project. They'd probably, like, you know, like a game jam or something to that effect where they just have... They get developers together and they give them all a small project to put together some fun things. Kind of like the buggy races that they did. So that's going to be something 1.0 or post 1.0. It's not a priority for CIG in the short term, even in the medium term. Yeah, I've got twin stick gunfighters, left and right. The BTR was teased and never seen again. Yeah. Paul, I use your streams as soapbox RQ in case EAS tones aren't coming out. FYI, tornado emergency issued across southern Mississippi. Darburn area, tornadoes confirmed to be on the ground. Threat is described as to be catastrophic. Ooh, not good. I don't use foot pedals. I just twin sticks. I never got used to the foot pedals. I had foot pedals at one point, and I never. The problem is they slip because there was no way for them to like grip onto the ground. So I had to find a way. There was no way I could figure out how to mount them properly. I got rid of them a long time ago. They were old sticks though, or old foot pedals, cheap ones. Astro, CIG devs are crazy, so we need to keep them on a tight leash so they don't burn themselves out creating side content like the buggy races, but then actually doing rest on their downtime. Yeah, I think CIG would do well to let the developer teams pick crazy shit they'd want to add to the game. Like, one of the things that I've always thought was an interesting idea for those convention centers in the off time was a traveling bazaar, what are they called? A flea market. So, you know, on certain days of the week, like certain weekends, you have, you know, the flea market is open in the Orison, Convention Center, and some others. Then some weekends it's on the one in Lorville, and so on and so forth. And in these places, there's places where you could buy rare items that you can't find elsewhere. You can't buy elsewhere. But you can also sell things like curios or other things for higher amounts of money. Basically a place where you could just sell and buy things for more value than they're actually worth. And things that actually have no value have value there. Well, I don't think there's... I'm not talking about player market. I'm talking about, like, NPCs. Darvo and Void Trader. Yeah, kind of like that. I think I remember hearing about that last time. I don't remember if it was last time or it was recently someone told me about Darvo. The guy you hate because he shows up at the worst possible times and never has the things you want. Would HOTAS system work for Star Citizen? Yes. I used to use an X52 HOTAS. It works great. It worked great, I should say. HOTAS systems are great. Twin sticks, in my experience, gives you a lot more fine control. So that's why a lot of people like it. But like, you don't have to go crazy with it. Not Darvo. That's the Void Trader. Who shows up at the worst times and doesn't have what you want. I came from DCS, so says my buddy told me it worked better with twin sticks, so I set it up first using my Thrustmaster Warthog stick and a cheap Logitech stick I found at Walmart. Yeah, you can get the T16000M is a fantastic offhand stick because you can actually get it. It actually does have a twin stick functionality. You can like switch it to left-handed. See what I mean by like, yeah, you can make 300,000 UEC, but it's a lot of this because it's individual 1 SCU crates, moving 60 individual SCU crates. Khajiit sells wares you buy? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the Banu are, but... Someone said like a Banu Soli. Yeah, what are they called? Flotilla, I think? The Banu create a their own version of a sort of space station, which is just when they lash a bunch of ships together through, like, docking corridors. And so you have to walk from ship to ship, but it becomes like a giant floating bazaar. I'm renting this. And that's one of the reasons why I use the Cutlass Black over the Hull A, because it comes with a built-in tractor beam that makes it a lot easier to do this. But the Cutlass Black also only has a capacity of like 40-something. You can get more in, you just have to jam it in there. And this is like 59, I want to say. No, it holds 64, but I think I had 5 slots open, so that would be 59. 59 total SCUs when I'm moving. Looking at VKB Gladiators. I've made some serious credits with multi-crew salvage this event. Been fun, nice to see an event with non-combat angle. I mean, there's still combat potential, but it's really easy to avoid it. That's going to be the Beast plotline, it seems like, for the stories this year. Is it going to be? It's going to be non-combat stuff that focuses on industry around the mystery behind why regen is stopping to work. I've been jumped once or twice in the event, but it wasn't that bad. It was my own stupid fault for not doglegging. I wonder if this regen breaking down is leading to soft launch of Death of a Spaceman. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the end goal, is to sort of give Death of a Spaceman, to have this lead into Death of a Spaceman, so people sort of understand it. CIG seems to be hell bent on this year being the year that they start adding all of the features that make the game the game. Can't wait to die because I failed to use the restroom on a cross-system QT jump. Thanks, CIG. Sounds like a shitty excuse. Oh, pre-show, awesome. So, because I always do the pre-show, for those of you who don't know who are those of you on YouTube, I always do a pre-show. The thing is that I rarely do a pre-show on YouTube because most people complain if I have a bunch of footage of me playing the game before we actually get to the show, and they'll be like, "Oh, don't watch it. Start here." And when you do that, it actually hurts the video statistics. If I release, if there's a video that's released that is, or like the live stream that's out, and then people just start cut an entire area. It tells YouTube that it's not good. So I just haven't been doing pre-shows on YouTube. Now that YouTube I have my own YouTube dedicated to the Captain's Table podcast, I can do pre-show here on Twitch or here on YouTube on this YouTube, on the Captain's Table YouTube. And then I can, there's a system where it'll dump all of the viewers from one video to another, from one live stream to another. I have that set up so that when I start the Captain's Table podcast, it'll dump all of y'all into the Captain's Table podcast YouTube. Paul, do you know if Jared's character from Past Black ICIC has been in the game? No, not that I know of. They're a newer character to the universe, but SSN/CATV is a pretty historic company. It's been around for a long time. Nice. Just found out about the Captain's Table content as well. Great content in the past few weeks. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the Captain's Table podcast, YouTube, make sure you do that. It's youtube.com/at the Captain's Table podcast, because I can't get a dedicated name until I reach over 1,000 subscribers. So. It sounded like one of his lines might be teasing an upcoming event around ILW. Yes, I did. It also could be a red herring, so I wouldn't necessarily lead into it. But we know that there's going to be an event around ILW specifically dealing with regen. So 1.6. I got to do one more run of this. And I'm good. I'm not going to do a run today because I got to get ready for the Captain's Table, but... That's what it was. I basically need to make one more run, and if I did one more run of that scale, I'd be able to purchase a whole A. Jared as a newscaster is a perfect casting. Yeah, it's really good. I don't think Jared really understands what he's fucking signed up for, though, because I'm sure they spent a couple of days doing footage capture for him, or at least a day doing a bunch of footage capture. But he's going to have to go back and do reshoots. And because he's now a newscaster in the game, they're going to have him come back and do the newscaster role every single time they need a news update. So he's going to be there all the time. He's going to become the Walter Cronkite of Star Citizen. Maybe even a mission giver at some point. Also, opinions on how to make money in the game. It depends on what you want to do. Star Citizen is in a weird place where, like, where what matters at this point is more what you want to do rather than any specific role. There's no one way of making a shit ton of money that's better than the others. Like, this method I'm doing right now is pretty good if you like hauling. Bounty hunting is still a thing you can do if you want to do if you want to do combat, make you some decent money, and like mercenary work can do that. There are some great. There's at least one mission in Pyro. I gotta remember what it is. I don't remember what it is. Where you have to take out or find a large ship filled with illicit substances, so you can get really, really valuable things like gasping wheel eggs and stuff like that for free, and then go sell them in the market and make a buck ton of money. But they're like, it's like the old the missions that we would do that for, like, mercenary missions. The events are always going to be the way to make money, I think. Long term, if you do events, the events will always be incentivized as to be the things you do in order to make quick cash. CIG wants you to play them. The trading stuff is a little different, though.
Landing gear down.
So just go salvaging. Go rent a vulture. Or buy a vulture if you have cash, like in-game cash, and go salvaging. No, you don't have to go into Pyro to do that. That mission I think you can do in Stanton and then deliver to the Pyro Gateway. I did a bunch of Headhunters missions which were just in Stanton. I can check right now. This is Headhunters missions. So you do have to deliver these to Checkmate. Or to Ruin Station. Yeah, so you do have to go into Pyro to deliver them. That may also be because I'm doing Headhunters. They could be different for non.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again.
Nice cruise. Pyro isn't that bad. Everyone's makes a huge fucking deal out of Pyro being awful. I have been jumped once by the Pyro Gateway, and that was in PTU. Most people don't hang around that area because it's if you start shooting in that area, the stations like to shoot back. But they're a lot more accurate now than they used to be. Ooh. Your PC hates the jump tunnel sometimes. Okay, fair enough. I know it might be a subject, but what's the purpose of the Rock DS compared to the Rock? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't own a DS. If you saw it in my list, it's because CIG gave me it for some fucking reason. This is my 0 to Hero account. It does only literally only an Aurora, and that's it. Double shame. DS works if the ship was, if the DS was actually bigger. The user who was using the mining arm had was protected, like was encased in a so you had its own onboard life support system, and that the storage was like triple or quadruple the storage. I mean, I'm down with the DS having a size 1 head. I personally think that the DS should be the size of the Ursa. and should be able to do the things that the other like larger mining ships can do, but also the smaller stuff. So it's able to kind of do both. And you wouldn't use it to crack the larger rocks because you're not going to use all the resources. You can't suck up all the resources that the larger ship can because you just don't have the space. But it allows you to be flexible, so in case you need to do that, you can do the larger rocks, and then you can also do the minables. Oh yeah, that Doris is right. Which it should be a dual seat, in the sense that you have like two cockpits, and then one person climbs in the cockpit, is fully enclosed, and then is able to manipulate a remote arm rather than being solo. Oh, okay. Here's a better idea of fixing the DS. Hear me out, chat. 2 arms. 2 separate, independently controlled mining arms. One for the co-pilot and one for the pilot. So you can literally do twice the amount of mining. Drew Marker arms with side-by-side seating. Yeah, that'd be great. Paul, fix the ship series. We actually do have that series on the Inforunners. You should check it out. I'll give X the idea. I'm gonna write him right now. Hold on. Ugh. The new Mustang always feels wrong after the old one. The new Mustang is fine. The internals suck. That's the problem. Gotta be worried one or the other. 2 arms and big as an Ursa. I'm good. But I'll take either of the 2 for the Rock DS specifically. I think if you said Rock dual seat and it was side-by-side seating with 2 different mining arms, that would actually be an upgrade from the Rock. Like, that would be a legitimate upgrade and make it a little bit bigger so it can hold more cargo space. I'm not saying like it has to be exactly the dimensions of the Ursa, but I'm like, it should be. Right now it's around the same size as like a Cyclone. I think a little smaller than a Cyclone, if I remember correctly. But it should be big. You shouldn't be able to... they shouldn't have the same footprint, is what I'm trying to say. Because like I think you can put a DS inside of a Cutlass. You also put a Rock inside of a Cutlass. But it should be something that requires a larger ship to move. Yeah, it's a worse vehicle than the Rock. The Mole, but car version. Is there a site where I can see the weapons that are best to use on certain ships? Yes! It's called, it is called... I have you here somewhere. Urkel, thank you. Thank you for posting the link there, Q-Fan. Urkel. Urkel.games/calculator. They do full-on calculations of every ship and the DPS capabilities of those weapons on those ships in terms of Alpha Strike, everything. They break everything down. It's the Shvetiest of the Shvet sort of situation. Speaking of, is there anything like Urkel for FPS gear? Yes, it's called the Armory. By the Space Coder. It's the armory.thespacecoder.space. The Armory is the Space Coder has been on the captain's table multiple times. They're another. They also make their own content. So. Is revamped Levski planned for a 4.1x iteration or much later? So Levski's not going to be coming in until Nyx comes in. It's likely not going to come in this iteration, 4.1, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came in 4.2 or 4.3, which is further down the line, like June, July sort of thing. Somewhere between June and August. Well, June and September. Just returned a 9070 Ti and ordering a 5070 Ti or 5080 instead. How high do you personally value high quality cloud rendering? I like it. Was it just not? Does it not render the clouds very well for you, Dash? The problem is the price difference between a 5070 XT and a 5070 Ti is $300 to $600. I don't value an entire fucking double the price of the XT. I'll say that. Like right now, in order to get a 5070 Ti is over $1,000, even though its MSRP is $750. A 5080 is like 2,000. The reason why it's a lot of that stuff is the way it is right now is because CIG hasn't implemented FSR. It also hasn't implemented DLSS, the new DLSS either. So it's just like a lot of stuff. When you buy a brand new card, new games may not all support everything that's in that card yet. So like the drivers and stuff like that. Grainy clowns are okay. I mean, it's what I have right now. $400. I don't think $400 is worth it. And if it was, I could upgrade it later. I have a 2070 Super. It works fine, but I need to upgrade. For $4 and turn clouds off. Well, you actually can't turn clouds off in 4.1. Seems odd. Max settings at 6090 XT. Here, no upscaling. Usually no less than 60 FPS except Pyro Station interiors. I need to upgrade my 1660 Ti. Yeah, probably. I've seen tons of donations. No upgrade yet, or is it 2070 just a gold mine? What are you talking about, Critical Mass? You know how much? First off, do you know how much money even if a 9070 XT is? Right now, you can't find it. And even if you could, it's $700 plus. In Germany, you paid 900 euros. Yeah. So, and that's the cheap one compared to the other ones. So I have to find it, A. B, I also have to build a brand new computer from scratch. I have a new desktop case. It's sitting right next to me. I've got a new CPU, which is coming in the next couple of days, and new RAM that's coming in the next couple of days. All of those combined are about $700. So those three things are the same as the entirety of the GPU, which you cannot find right now. And I'll tell you how much money I have made in the last couple of days. Because you got to remember, on top of all of this, I also have to pay for subscriptions, for software services, for functions for Twitch. I have an editor that I pay. I've got to pay for giveaways when I do those giveaways. Because CIG doesn't give me enough to do all of it. There's a ton of different things I have to pay for on top of everything I have. So I usually come out a little bit on over the case. So on top of that, I have to spend $3,000 or $2,800 to $2,500, $2,800 on this rig. As of right now, for YouTube, I have made $506 this month, and that's not this month. That's the estimated revenue of what I'm going to make for this entire month on YouTube. About the same on the Astro story, so about $1,000. And on Twitch, it's about $500 as well. And it cost me about $1,200 to produce this content. So if you're doing the math, it's $1,500, which means I have $300 overhead. In case nothing bad happens, I can use that. If nothing breaks, like I've had new microphones, that kind of stuff. What, a rich teacher like you? Yeah. So most of those donations that have come in have gone to purchase the 3 items that I've been able to purchase. Hey, pasta. Thank you. This is not an attack on you, Critical Mass. It's more of a giving you the context that, like, I am not a huge YouTuber in terms of a lot of content that I produce. Even Patreon, which is the best way to support me if you want to support me. I make less than $300 on Patreon, and I pay my editor $800 a month to help me out with a lot of the content that I make. Twitch? How much money do I make on Twitch? Last month I made $1,000. And keep in mind, this is big for me. Like, this is more money on Twitch than I've made ever before on a regular basis. Thank you. In 4.1, Paul will respawn with the vest. You're not wrong. I screwed up on my build. I wanted to upgrade to the 30 series when they were cheap. I bought a DDR4 motherboard, and suddenly, 2 months later, DDR5 came out. Yeah, I'm slowly putting things together. And my goal is that next month I should be able to purchase the motherboard, the power supply, the memory, and that together should be around $500, $600. If I can't do those, then I'm going to buy the GPU. If I can get the GPU. It's either that or the GPU. Yeah, I as I've told my students, because I do tell them that I stream, I don't tell them where I stream. I guess some of them may even be here right now watching, who are like graduated. I don't make a lot of money on the content. The most money I make on content, like the most money I've ever made a month on content, was about $3,000 with everything together. To give you context, that's less than I make as in a month as a teacher. I make about $3,200 a month. And I've been working as a teacher for a decade. That's your business? Well done, mate. Yeah, I know. But the business also requires money. So most of the money ends up going back into this to the business to keep it going. Almost none of it comes to me personally. So it's not like I'm out here being like, yeah, I'm making fuck tons of money. I'm not. Really, I'm not. If you make more on Patreon, can you integrate Patreon to the stream? Like if someone becomes a Patreon to stream event, I might be able to do that. But the Patreon is dedicated to the Astro Historian stuff, so. Buying a new PC outright these days is crazy. Yeah, it's fucking expensive. Is YouTube, Twitch, Patreon a good filler for the summer break months? It can help, but usually that, like I said, most of the money goes back into the business because that also keeps taxes lower. A, and B, it's just a good idea to invest in the business. I've used Ko-fi. I have to use it more often. I have a Ko-fi, but if I was gonna do something specifically with the stream, I'd probably be a Ko-fi. Again, your choice, but not something you need to declare anyone at the moment. I wish you well with it. Hash. Jesus.
Dash 2342 just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you so much for giving those 10 subs there, Dash. You're very important, Papa. Very impressive. Very impressive. You're right. Shasta Juice, Shasta Juice. I'm not saying this is like a woe is me story or anything else like that, but someone specifically was on YouTube was like, "You've got a ton of subscriptions. Why are you specifically? I see a ton of donations. No upgrade yet, or is this 2070 just a gold mine?" Like implying that I'm like using my PC upgrades as some sort of like cash making money scheme. It's like, no, y'all just don't understand the situation.
Brian Havoc tipped $100.
Jesus
Thanks
fuck.
for all of the content you provide every week.
Thank you for the $100. That being said, I don't see any single malt in your bar. That needs to be recommended. Thank you so much. Jesus fuck. Don't listen to them. You deserve a nice gaming. Thank you. So the rig that I'm building is built to the equipment that I have. I have a 1440p monitor. It's fine. I don't want to have no desire to go for a 4K monitor. I'd rather use money that would go into a 4K monitor into better equipment for the stream. I already got some pretty good stuff going on, which is great. But I could always use better lighting. I could use better, more help with some of the stuff, more time stuff. Some people appreciate candid answers. Aw, I'm sorry, Escape. It's probably because they don't have, they're afraid it might upset Blizzard. God damn it, y'all.
Hey, a tip.
Anonymous tipped $100. Teachers deserve to be paid more. Here's
Thank
to
you.
help get through the month.
Jesus fuck, man. I didn't mean to. Oh God. I always feel bad when I say stuff and people are like, "Oh, but you should donate more." I'm like, I don't do this for the money, y'all. If I was looking to make money, I'd find a second job rather than this. I do this for fun. Hope you can get it all before the tariff prices kick in. Yeah, that's the big thing I'm trying to get done as well. You got a 1440p ultra wide rather than a 4K monitor? Yeah.
Them
Very much funding your hobby.
biddies.
Yeah.
We will love you, accept our love.
We will love you, accept our love. Thank you, Escape. Not writers, but it's the gaming benefit the viewers are benefiting. Yes, that's the idea. But I don't want to over purchase. Like, there's no reason to purchase equipment that is beyond what my current capabilities are. Like, streaming 1440p content isn't very good, but filming 1440p content is good. Because I can usually catch in-game content at 1440p, and I will have a much better looking content for putting on videos, which is good. I already have a 4K capture card, so that works for it. But I need to have a computer or a graphics card that can do that. Having a graphics card that can push a bunch of stuff at 4K doesn't help me as much, and I could use that money
Them
for other
biddies.
things.
Astro, we need someone to read, whatever that means, for us, so have to make sure you got the cash money to continue doing so.
Thank you, Sarah Pasta. Went from a 21:9 1440 to 16:9 4K OLED in November. The OLED was the biggest upgrade. Double PC. So I have a 2 PC setup. I have so my gaming PC is dedicated to just gaming, just maximum gaming potential. And then I've got a streaming PC, which is much cheaper. It's built up of a lot of secondhand parts, really, but it's mostly dedicated to making content through editing and also through streaming. So I will probably be getting a new streaming PC at the end of the year, but that is something that I don't require a shit ton of funding for.
You can take away my
because it's going to be like
spaceship.
$1,300.
You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space laser.
I don't have a Go XLR. Oh, I do
you can
actually. I
never,
have a Mini. I was thinking about
ever
GoPro.
Take away my space game.
I don't do it for money. I do it for fun.
X Libra Zero has subscribed.
Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub there, Libra. You're very important, but very impressive, Pennsylvania pedestrian. This your fault. Doing drinking night. Shots and Jews and chat, y'all. Shots and Jews. Thank you, Tic Tac Jimp. Yeah, no. The reason why we don't have a lot is not has the higher prices and stuff like that has more to do with the suppliers. There's not enough supply.
You can take
to
away
meet
my
demand.
spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
We should probably put a link to them.
But you can never,
Ever.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Tic Tac Jim just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you so much for that 2 months of support there, Tic Tac Jim. You're a very important public, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your father's room. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. It was just the timing of the tip. I know why you do this. This is why I stick around. I do this because my brain is
You can
broken.
take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Derisa just resubscribed for 4 months.
Thank you so much for that 4 months of support there. You're a very important public, very impressive, very pedestrian. This is your fault. You're drinking that. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. I'm sticking my 3090 until the next. That's a good idea. Yeah. No. So like, the thing is I would also ship of Theseus this if I had a chance to.
Dem biddies.
Yeah, 3090 is great. Thank you for them biddies. There, Shogi. 3090 is great. Like, from my research into getting this rig, I basically see that there is no reason to not, if you have a 3090 or a 40 series card, a 3090 or any 40 series card, well, maybe a low-end 40 series card, you might want to get an upgrade, but there's just no reason. You got a 4090, fuck it. There's no reason to get a 5090 or any of the 50 series cards, because it's basically the same. My goal is to build this current rig and then ship a Theseus the fuck out of it.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No PPUs.
But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Trouble Magnet just resubscribed for 88 months. The PC of Theseus lol.
Yeah, PC of Theseus. Thank you so much for that 88 months of support. You're very important, but very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your fault. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Who are the pirates of super customized ships? You asked me that question earlier. I think I remember hearing about that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say they're just called the Shipjackers right now. They could also, there's also another one called like it's like a name. I know, a name, Paul. No, but like a person's name is the name of the gang. I've been saying the 5070 is a better deal over the 5080, but closer they get in price, the more I recommend the 5080. Effectively the same hardware, but cherry picked. Yeah, if the 5070 was anywhere near MSRP, would be a better idea. But the 5070 Ti is not 5070 Ti. The 5070 Ti is damn near the price of a 5080. I'll do a quick look up, and then we're gonna get set up for the captain's table. Because the setup is, I'm already 10 minutes late. Yeah, to get a 5080 right now is $2,000, but you can get it can get it in some places for around. There's no way that's the case. There's no way. Oh, it's AliExpress. Yeah, no, fuck that. Absolutely not. AliExpress is selling the RTX 5080 for $822. It's like, nope, that's a fucking scam. You can get them for like 1,600. I'm seeing a couple here for like 1,700. But like the 5070 Ti is like anywhere between $1,200 to $1,300. So they're like almost the same price. How much is the 9950 X3D? $600. That's just the X, not the 9950 X3D. Let's see. $700, but it's out of stock. But you do have them in combo deals if you go to Newegg though. You can buy them with CPU combo. Like there's an option here for the for Gigabyte X 870E Pro, which I know because I've looked at that. It's around $250. So, and you can buy it for about $980. So for $700 CPU and a $250 motherboard, that's what? A slight. It's like $20 more with the combo, but you can actually get both of them. No. You want an X3D? I actually got the Ryzen 7 9800 X3D because the price difference between it and the 7800 X3D was $20. And I was like, grabbing that. Oh, I haven't installed it yet, but I talked with 10pound42 about it because he actually did testing on it. It's not that much different from the 7800 X3D. It's like slight performance increase, but it's the latest version of it. But like $20 is almost no difference in price. Like I'll take that. I actually honestly expect the 7800 X3D to actually drop in price because they're still making it. I expected it to go down to like 300, like 399. Because the one thing that AMD does that NVIDIA doesn't do, or that Intel and NVIDIA don't do, is they still sell their older products. So like they release a new product and then still sell their older products even while selling the new products. So it usually gets cheaper for them to produce their older products, so they reduce the price, allowing for people to purchase the older products at a lower price, even though they're already the budget retailers or budget, manufacturers. Better temps and clocks on them because the M98 X3D changed the config. Okay. Yes, I think all of us are Star Citizen players here. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head over to set up for the captain's table. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. I want to make sure everything's good. We'll be talking about item recovery, tier 0 item recovery. Is it good, bad? What the whole shebang about it. All right. Didn't they have limited stock with the 4800 though? Yeah, because they stopped selling the 40 series. They stopped making and selling the 40 series. All right.